If you're looking for a new weld fixture provider, then stop right now because you found the right provider for you. And I'm going to give you a few examples of why we are one of the best providers and also why we've been growing so quickly as a company. We're one of the fastest weld fixture providers in the world right now, and it's for these same reasons. Reasons that are going to help you grow your business, help you be able to launch programs quicker, be able to get more quality parts. So the first reason we are dominating the market is our delivery times. We're delivering up to 30% faster, and occasions even higher than 30% quicker than some of our competitors. Now, this example comes from real world examples. This percentage comes from a real world example percentage. All these numbers on here come from real world examples. Now, to give you one example for the delivery, we were able to accomplish a 24-week delivery time whenever all of our competitors were coming in with a 30-week plus delivery time. That alone is a 30% delivery time speed increase. We've had other projects where we had an 8-week delivery time and our competitors were 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks long. So these are just a few examples of how quick we're able to deliver our product. That goes all the way from design to manufacturing to delivery in your shop floor to deployment of the actual weld fixtures in your shop floor. And we'll get more into that here in a second. The next thing is cost. I got an example here. We have deployed projects at 3.3 million while our competitors have been at 3.6 million, next lowest competitor. And the other competitors that we were competing against were coming in at prices even higher than this, 3.7, 3.8. And again, this is not a one-time example. So crushing it in cost. We're really winning because of the delivery, but we're also crushing it in the cost as well. Now, when it comes to quality, everything is CMM certified. We do not cut corners on our quality, because if we cut corners on our quality, one, you're not going to come back to us. We are driven to be one of the biggest companies in the world, and if our quality is no good, then you guys just will not come to us. Also, it's a headache for us. We just don't want to have quality issues on the floor. We prefer to do everything right in the shop and then be able to deliver a product that's superior than anybody else and just really just even beats our own standards. So everything is CMM certified. We run everything through a CMM machine and verify its quality, make sure it's matching all its dimensional tests and whatnot. The next thing I want to bring you to is technology. We try to make everything that we do as technologically advanced as possible. Now, not just technologically advanced just for the sake of being technologically advanced, but things that actually make things quicker, like quick changeover, right? We make it so that our fixtures are able to be swapped in and out more quickly, literally just taking the fixture out, putting the fixture in, changing it on the HMI, done. And also within that, fixture identification. So that way the fixture is identified itself. So that way if your HMI says you're running part number A and you have fixture number B in there, it's gonna flag and it's not gonna let you run that part because the fixture ID has flagged it as the wrong fixture, or vice versa. The machine automatically changes to the right program whenever you put in a certain fixture. So that way you don't even need to do the HMI modification. So you don't even need to do any HMI changes. It automatically just changes the program that you're running based on the fixture ID. Another thing that goes along with that is part ID. So whenever you load the child part into the fixture, you can scan the QR code of that part itself and make sure that you're loading in the proper child parts, and to make sure that maybe that child part doesn't have any defects. Maybe there's a certain batch, it's been flagged, do not run this batch of parts. That all goes through part of the part identification. Another thing, this probably makes sense for most things, but everything's Ethernet capable or some other communication protocol. Generally, everything that we're doing is either Ethernet, IO link. Whenever we develop our fixtures come with SMC modules that are Ethernet or MAC, all different brands. But using these different communication protocols and these types of valve banks just gives you the ability to swap out modules, swap out the whole bank, just be able to easily swap in and out parts if you ever have a failure in that particular bank. Now, going into the flexibility. We basically design the fixtures however you need them. Whatever materials you want to use. We also have our own standards, so don't worry about if you don't know what materials you need to use. We use all different types of materials, and we use the appropriate material for the job, right? We use hardened materials for details that are going to be making contact with the parts more frequently. We make copper details if we need to try to extract heat out of the part or try to have better conductivity of the part. BOPs, no worries. So all your bought out parts, if you use SMC, if you use MAC, if you use any other brand on the market, we will use whatever brand you use. Generally, if it's up to us, we just use whatever brand has the capability to have Ethernet capabilities. One wire connection. That's what we do with our company, right? So we're gonna push you to use those type of products. We don't really care what brand it is, but we just wanna make sure that you're deploying something that is technologically robust as it is mechanically robust. Design standards. We design to your standards. Whatever standards you have, we'll design to those. Also, we have our own standards. So if you guys don't already have your own design standard, then we can help you develop a standard and kind of grow that as we grow our relationship. But again, a lot of companies already have a design standard, so we're used to working with whatever a customer's design standard is. Deliverability. So we're very flexible in our deliverability. When I say deliverability, I mean whatever project type it may be. It might be a design services, right? So our number one business model is a capital equipment provider or a fixture provider, right? That means you contact us, you give us the component that needs welded or the parts that need to be moved from place to place or assembled or whatever it may be. You say, this is the part, this is what needs to be done, and then we design the piece of equipment to that. We design it, we build it, we program it, we install it from the very beginning. But where this deliverability falls into place and this flexibility falls into place, if you just need design services only, we'll do it. If you need machining services only, we'll do it. If you need installation services, we'll do it. You know, just to give you some examples of some different things that we've provided for some of our customers, some of our different customers, and some of the same customers even. We've deployed fixtures where it's the design, the manufacturing of the fixture, and the programming of the robot, no capital. We've provided versions of that with the capital. We've provided versions where we just do the designing, the manufacturing, and the customer has done the deployment, the programming of the robot and whatnot. We've done just the programming of the robot, so they've acquired these weld fixtures. Maybe they built them internally, right? They built these fixtures internally and they want us to come in and do the programming services to get the weld fixtures up and running. Maybe they don't have enough robot programmers or just not enough control support. We're servicing everything underneath of that capital equipment and fixturing service. The next big thing is support. Not only do we offer 24/7 support, remote support, but it's immediate support, right? If you call right now and say, hey, our robot's down, we can immediately log into your machine and see why it's down. If for some reason the robot's not moving, you know, all the doors are shut, you hit the cycle start button, there's no alarms on the screen, we can log into your system and we can rectify whatever the problem is. Now maybe we'll identify there's some physical problem and maybe somebody on site needs to fix it, but we can start so quickly troubleshooting. And not only that, we can deploy 2, 3, 4 people to the one machine. If it's down, it's a critical issue. So we can deploy 4 or 5 people. How many people we think we need to troubleshooting this piece of equipment, so that way we can find out the root cause as quickly as possible, get that piece of machinery back up and running. And if there is a physical problem, we can either send one of our guys out to physically fix whatever the electrical mechanical problem may be, or we can just work with your maintenance team to identify, you know, what sensor is the problem. They can connect with our team directly and see and flag sensors. Maybe the PLC guy's not available at your facility, so they can log in, talk to our guys. Everything is stored in drive files and is accessible in a way that we can share data with you and you can share data with us very quickly. All of our equipments come with a QR code, which gives them the ability to scan it. Depending on your company's privacy policies, we can share this content with company-wide. We can share it to individual employees. We can just make it wide open access. Maybe it's something like an operator's manual and you don't care who has it, right? Things like that we can just give different levels of access to, but it really helps out with like electrical engineering drawings, right? You never lose your electrical engineering drawings because they're on a QR code. That's either it's on a sticker on the machine or it's inside the HMI itself. All these different things just make it easier to be able to troubleshoot, have the data for your piece of equipment. And again, we're crushing it in the delivery, we're crushing it in cost, we're crushing it in quality. Actually, all these things are what's making us one of the leaders in fixture deployments in the entire world. We also have a global presence. We're working out of India, Mexico, Saudi Arabia. So we're all over the place and we're growing. We continue to be in every single region of the world at some point, and I'm happy to partner with you guys and be able to grow in our deployments and executing on our deliverables together. Catch you on the next one.